this idea, put strong values first and let success and happiness follow. You know, there's a trend right now, and it's almost sickening. You know, it's almost sickening.
I want to hear this. Tell me.
Well, it's just this idea that you owe it to yourself to be happy. Now, make the world revolve around you. Stop apologizing, and go out there and like it's this kind of like hedonism put like in the dress of like liberating
self-care, self-love,
and some kind of liberating philosophy or something like that. No. What you're presenting there is just the old crap that gets us nowhere.
It's old school hedonism. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's old school hedonism.
It's me first and the gimmies.
Right. And so this idea, I love the way that he phrases this, that success and happiness, they're the unintended side effects of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself. Oh, no, there is nothing greater than me. You are the center of the universe. Your happiness is the most important thing. No, it's not. My happiness will come as a side effect of myself dedicating myself to what's greater than me. Right? That to me is wisdom. To me, this is a way to live life.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily spiritual podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator of the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha. It is July 17th. It's episode 1642. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, everybody. We are back. Woo! It seems like we've been gone forever.
Long time.
We are back, and me and Kaustubha and Mara definitely think of everybody, even when you're not around. And I tell you, I'm reflecting on that Italy retreat, and I think this was the best retreat we've done.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what it was, Kaustubha? It was the chief effect. So we have this thing called getting chiefed. Now, the chief, if you don't know, was Lori Pag's husband, who wasn't into Bhakti, but just went to the retreat just to support his wife. Okay, I'm going to go to Italy, whatever. I'll support her doing her yoga, spiritual thing. But it left such a deep impression on him. He got chiefed. He chiefed himself. So it set a precedent for like you're just getting caught up in the rip current of Bhakti, taking you to the ocean of devotion. You like that double analogy? The rip current of Bhakti taking you to the ocean of devotion.
Yeah,
I just came
up with
one
analogy. That's one. Yeah, that's not a double. Yeah. That's one good analogy.
That's one good analogy. Okay. Yeah. And then anyway, the next year sort of happened with Claire. Claire, Mukunda Kishore's wife, she got chiefed, so to speak. And this year it was like a chief popcorn effect, like
Chief the children.
Everybody, right? Chief children, Chief Junior. Everybody brought their spouse and their kids who were they all got chiefed. Everybody got swept up in the current of Bhakti. There was a gang of teens, a gang of little kids, who just got the gang of spouses. And everybody, we just moved through this whole thing. It was like magic. I really had a great time.
I'm glad that you did, Raghunath. I got a really nice message from Sophie, who shared about what a good experience her family had.
That's because Sophie's family got chiefed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Daughter got chiefed. Leela got chiefed. Her husband got chiefed. Her husband, after that kirtan, just came up to me like, he was so happy.
Yeah.
He was so blissful. It's not like they're like, I'm not saying they're necessarily opting in, I want to be a Hare Krishna. It means they got swept, their heart got touched with Bhakti. That's a big thing. Okay. I think that is the thing that we all want. We want something inside us to go, Hare Krishna, good stuff. Nice stuff, happy stuff. Okay. Good, right? Not Hare Krishna, weirdos, freaks, leave me alone. We don't want to leave that, I think Jamie Stepp got chiefed. His whole family got chiefed.
He brought his family as well.
They got chiefed.
There's a lot going on like that.
There's a lot of stuff. Anyway, it's a good thing for that.
Oh, you know
Anyway.
what I need to? Maybe I could
What?
get some help here. Um, so Sophie said, "Oh, her daughter, it really she left the retreat, feeling separation from the devotees and the practice."
Her daughter said that.
Her daughter, yeah.
His
A-
daughter's
And
15.
and she was asking me, "What's a good books, for a 15-year-old girl with a budding interest in Bhakti to read?" Okay, well, obviously, Raghunath is
I'm not saying that. If I didn't write this book, I'd say get this book.
okay.
Because they're kids
So
they can relate to,
yes,
The
yes.
mother likes shelter. I think they could
Monk to
relate
monk.
to it. It's
Th- th-
peppered with Krishna consciousness. I say
Absolutely.
bunk to monk.
Any other possible books in
I
the
say
history of
Journey Home.
in the
I
history
say
of
Journey Home.
publishing that might also be useful in this?
I say Journey Home. I say
Journey Home.
Ranaswami's Journey Within.
I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a 15-year-old girl that's new to Bhakti, though, and
You want me to try on a 15-year-old girl's shoes? I will do that.
could you also
spreading the
put in
holy name.
a dress too?
Okay.
But and I'm happy to hear from our chat board. Follow the Cowherd Boy. You know what? I thought about that one.
It's
My
a great
wife enjoyed
book.
that book.
If people haven't read that book, that gives you a feeling of what life was like. It was a historical fiction written by, what was her name?
Joshi, something Joshi.
Yeah, Joshi.
Yeah, I got it somewhere.
I love that book.
Okay, you think a 15-year-old girl would appreciate it?
I think so. If you're into history, if you're into like what was Krishna consciousness like in the 1500s, but written in the course of a gripping novel, the story of Mirabai,
Okay.
J.A. Joshi is the
J.A.
author.
Joshi.
We're also getting a recommendation here from Eileen. The Modern Yogi podcast might be good for her.
Modern Yogi Podcast.
But any other books that you can think of that might be that might hit the mark? I'm interested to hear.
Science of Self-Realization is always a good opening of
You see,
Prabhupada.
but I don't think you're putting yourself in the
I am.
dress of
I
a
am.
15-year-old
I'm
girl.
dressed as her right now. I'm walking around next to her looking like her double. So anyway, that's good. I got a Krishna miracle for you.
All right.
And you are like the Krishna miracle police.
Judge.
So if it's not a
Police,
Krishna
yeah.
miracle, you can tell me. But so here I am with
I'll
road
just
rage.
I want to lay down just a bit of the criteria. Math plays a big role for me in my judgment of whether something's a Krishna miracle. In other words, the
You should sit on that
possibilities.
council of cardinals that choose
Yeah.
who's going to be the next saint in the Catholic Church.
give you
Like,
the
that
sign
is
on
not a
that.
miracle.
That is not a miracle. That's only like 50 to 1. That was good. Miracles got to be like at least 1,000.
1,001.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here I am. So we are in like a second. We just hosted 60 people. So what do I do after that for a vacation? We travel with a bunch of devotees that we love. Lori Pag and the Chief, and Road Rage and his family, and Amarananda and his family,
Mukunda Kishore.
and Mukunda Kishore and his family, and anybody else I'm
Banu
missing.
Chubak.
Oh, and Banu came, and
Okay.
we bring Kishore from Alachua with us,
We had
and
Alex
Alex
from
from Sweden with us. So we got like 22 people cruising around Split in Croatia. It was actually great. Just adventurous, lots of swimming, lots of eating. Govinda Priya, Road Rage's wife, incredible lover of prasad and cooker and preparer of prasad.
She's the best.
She's the best. Anyway, so we're going around and we're thinking maybe we should go back to Bosnia. We had such a great time in Bosnia. And Bosnia is a breathtaking country. Check out my at Raghunath Yogi Instagram photos. But I'm in, so we're, what it's like moving 22 people through an old Vic village. It's like, hey, where are the little kids? Where's the
Very
11-year-olds?
relaxing and restful.
Yeah. It was not a restful vacation, but it was a fun vacation. I feel bad for Lori and the Chief, who have no kids that are with us,
Okay.
that are with us. And they're just like, sort of like just dealing with, okay, we're going to deal with it. And this is how we're doing our vacation now. But they are good. But anyway, so I'm like, one of my kids is going in a shop. Another kid is going in the shop. My head's at the ground trying to follow feet in a crowded place. And we're in a place where like no one speaks English. Everyone's speaking other languages. And someone goes, excuse me, like trying to get out in front of me. And so I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, that sounds like an American voice. And then somebody else just goes, Raghunath. And
Okay.
it was my friend Bram.
Bram, no kidding.
Bram Hubble.
Krishna Miracle.
Chris, right?
All right.
Krishna Miracle.
Krishna
Bram
Miracle.
and his wife.
And their
Well,
baby.
where do
And
they
their
live?
baby.
They live in the States.
They live in New York City.
I mean, it would be one thing if you were like at that fountain in Rome or something like that, but no.
We're
Right?
in Mostar. It is popular. You don't know that because you haven't been there, or
It's not as
off your
popular
radar.
as Rome.
It's not as popular as Rome.
For someone to show up there, right at the exact same time that you do.
Well, the interesting thing about Bram is I met him with you
In Houston.
in 1980.
Four Walls Falling. That was his band, right?
No.
I thought his band was Four Walls Falling.
No. He wasn't in a band, or maybe he was. But
I think he was in a band called Four Walls Falling.
listen to me. You're wrong about that. I love you in every other way. I'll listen to you shastrically, but not hardcore shastra.
He wasn't in that band?
He wasn't. That band was from Virginia. He
What was the band
was
from
living in
Houston?
Houston, and he wrote a fan. And okay, guys, I'm gonna confide in you. Maybe I already did this on the show. This is how we didn't know how to preach back then to anybody in the hardcore scene, really. And our records weren't out, and Shelter barely was a band. And so we went to Houston for like 2 months with your guru, Gunagraha Maharaj, and we were all brand new bhaktas. I was uninitiated. So me and this very forward-thinking brahmachari, Kalki, he had some fanzine, and me and Kalki, dressed as brahmacharis, would go to hardcore record stores. Back there was no hardcore record stores. You'd go to a record store, an alternative record store, not like a chain record store, and they would have a punk section and a hardcore section. So we stood in this record store.
Oh, this was your method.
This was our method of getting people, because we were like, okay, we're in Houston. We got to set up some preaching events to spread the holy name. That was our thing.
Okay.
And so me and Kalki went, we drove out
You
to
went
some
to the
record
one
store.
spot where you knew people that had the same interests would go.
Yeah. And this is how to find them, So we stood in a record store for hours, and we'd wait for people to go to the hardcore section of the record store. And someone would go there, and Kalki would go up to him and goes, hey, you like hardcore? And the kid would go, yeah. I'm like, here's a Harry Krishna kid. Harry Krishna kid is same age. You like hardcore? And he's like, yeah. He goes, you like straight edge? He's like, yeah. He goes, ever heard of Youth of Today? He's like, yeah. He goes, that's Ray Kappa over there in the corner. He's like, you're kidding. Ray Kappa's in Houston?
That's him over there in the corner. And you're sitting there looking
I'm
like
sitting there
totally
just
like you're not paying
waving,
attention at
holding up
all.
a record or something like that. And he goes, yeah, he's giving a class. He's giving a class like, this week at this address at the Houston Temple. I tell you, we did that, and we had do you remember that class? Were you at that class?
I was in jail. Remember? I was in jail, and I got out, and that class was going on, right as I got out of jail.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Did you get roughed up in jail?
Well, come on, dude.
That's another story, but you can talk to me privately about that. You never shared any about that.
I did.
Did you have to choose
Yeah, I had to go with the
Hispanic.
Mexican gang or
You're-
with the Nazi gang.
You're Italian and Hispanic. You have to choose. That's what I heard. You got to choose one. It's and it's not a great choice. I'm going to join a Mexican gang and be an Aryan nation. It's like
I wanted to join the Mexican gang, but the problem was I don't speak Spanish. I am Mexican, but I don't speak Spanish.
You're like, I'm
I wouldn't
half
be-
Mexican.
Yeah.
They make yeah. Anyway, back to my story. So we had the place was packed with kids, and we just gave class, and then we're like, this was so good. Let's do a Shelter show. And it was a really funky Shelter lineup that pretty much only existed for 5 shows. And one of it was at the Houston show.
And Bram was there.
Tamal Krishna Maharaj was there. No, Bram was at that original class. He was 13 years old.
Okay.
He got Krishna zapped, because everybody got sort of zapped into Krishna. So many devotees.
Okay, Raghunath, you do realize that you're in a squirrel within a squirrel within a squirrel.
I'm a squirrel within a squirrel. Okay, I get it.
Let's
It's like those Russian dolls of squirrels. Road Rage, make that on AI, please. Russian squirrel dolls. But anyway, so Bram was at that class. He got it Krishna inspired. A bunch of people got Christian inspired, including a band. We put out their record, Refuse to Fall. And then other people.
That's the band, Refuse to Fall, not Four Walls
Refuse to Fall, not Fall Was Fall. Yes.
Bram was in Refuse to Fall.
He wasn't. He was friends with them. But he was 13 and he was like very like educated. He was like very like mature. People were more mature back then and you know, ambitious in the material world. And he was doing a magazine and he made a Krishna fanzine. And anyway, I lost touch with him. And then one day, I haven't seen him in years, decades. And I was giving a class at the Bhakti Center. And I see this older man. I knew everybody from yoga and stuff like that. This was probably 15 years ago. I was giving a class at the Bhakti Center. And I see this older man with beautiful tattoos of Krishna. And I was like, who's this guy? And I walked up to him. I said, do I know you? And I go, I'm Bram.
I'm Bram.
I was like,
I'm just not 13 anymore.
I'm just not 13. I have the ability to grow a mustache. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And anyway, there's Bram. So Bram is I think is a professor, and he does.
Yeah, he's a world history professor.
You know, we should get him on the show just
Professor, I think he's a high school teacher, right?
Or a high school teacher.
World history.
History teacher. How about that?
Yeah.
We're gonna call him a professor. We're gonna call him
He's a
Professor
professor.
Bram anyway. Wife's a yoga
I think he
teacher.
was in the band Meat Beat Manifesto. Why are you looking at me all confused? I think he was in Propaganda. What band was he in?
He wasn't in a band. I don't. I mean, every kid was in a band back then. But yeah, anyway, he'd be good to get on the show to
find out what band he was in.
For
Yeah, just so we
hardcore
could just find out what band he was in.
for the demographic of hardcore historians who want to know, like, I mean, so many people got into Krishna from that little stint we did in Houston. It was a magical time.
He wasn't in Refuse to Fall.
Then we did a show, my friend, in Dallas.
Yeah.
Shelter did a show in Dallas.
Okay, Raghunath, enough. We're squirreling out.
At the
We're
Dallas
wildly out of
Temple. This
control.
is interesting stuff. Whatever. Whatever. You know who came to that show? Veerabhadra. As a little boy,
yeah,
came
little
to that
kid
show.
at the time, right? Yeah.
As a little show. Or anyway. So anyway, I met Bram. That's a Krishna miracle.
Krishna
Bosnia
miracle.
was great. Split was great. We're back home. Long travel. I'm
Tough
exhausted. I'm like super jet lagged. I wake up every hour and a half. And me and Mare had you know what? This is my new thing. All plane flights.
No food.
No food. Water.
That's an
fast.
interesting thing. That's an interesting.
They say that's how you beat jet lag. It didn't work really.
I think it might work.
It might
Well,
work
do you
for
eat a
Bram.
good meal before you fly?
No.
I think that's important.
We ate a meal.
No.
before
We ate a meal, but not a good meal.
True.
It was a good meal. I don't want to say that. It was a good meal. It was just like not. When I say a good meal, it was not like up to my when I'm home standard. It was like, hey, I'm on vacation meal, but it was good. But anyway, my point is this: we're back. And we're gardening, and we got a retreat coming up tomorrow, and I have a workshop in Saratoga Springs tonight. Woo!
Okay. Mara, are there any announcements today?
Sorry, man, that was a long time since we're talking.
Massive
After I
squirrel.
gave you this whole lecture, like we gotta be concise. Yesterday, I was like drilling Kaustubha. Our morning gab has to. Anyway, I hope somebody got something out of that squirrel within a squirrel.
It was nice. It
I'll
just
check,
has to
I'll
end
check the
at some
message
point.
board right now, but it was a Krishna miracle. What are the chances, even if Bram is in Mostar?
That's why I'm
what
saying
are
it was a
right,
Krishna
what
miracle.
are the chances I see him?
I totally accept it was a Krishna miracle, that one.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, where were you? Were you in like the center of the tourist area when that happened?
Well, Mostar is a tourist area.
Okay, well, so now that decreases its miracleness just a little bit. but
It's like,
yeah, but I'm still going to call it a Krishna miracle.
okay. Squirrel-level-three.
All right.
That's funny, isn't it? Squirrel-level-three.
Okay. All right, Mara.
All
Okay.
right. I don't have any announcements, but do you want to move on to the nugget?
Okay, look at that. All this time and no announcements. Yes, nugget time. This is a very important nugget.
Well, it's by Victor Frankl, and Victor Frankl is one of the,
I think he's a very noble man. That's the
he's a
impression
very
I get.
noble man. I think some people have issues with him, but I love him.
Really?
People have issues.
Well, he does this. He wrote this book about. He wrote this
Man's
book.
Search
It's
for Meaning?
huge. Man's Search for Meaning in a concentration camp,
Yeah.
and it's really all about like adjusting. It's
Yeah,
you know what it's
you're-
about. It's about nobody can hurt me.
Okay,
Like
and people are
nobody?
against that?
Even the Nazis? No, they can't unless I allow them to. Well, people who are like, you know what, that type of rhetoric is, encouraging people to go forward.
But you
and
think he would be
continue.
kind of bulletproof to that kind of thing?
Well, he was bulletproof to it, I think. But people say, well, he wasn't even in the concentration camp a very long time.
Oh,
You know what I mean? He was in there for whatever. I don't know. Not as
all right.
long
Well,
as some people.
anyway,
Maybe.
my impression. He's a very. I've never read the book, but whatever I've read from him, I've been very impressed.
You know what? It's impressive. And I will say, I can walk hand in hand with Victor Frankl's thoughts and ideas, and
because you've experienced.
No, I'm just saying I'm happy to call him a friend. Like, if he was here, I would like him. He'd be my friend, and I think he probably would like me because we think alike.
He'd be like, you can't hurt me.
How about I get hurt like 7 times a day? Like, what did my daughter mean by that?
Raghunath's like, I'm hurting myself all the time. Okay.
My dog doesn't come to me when I call his name.
Dog adopted a new family.
Yeah, okay, I won't get into that.
Okay, Mara, please read this quote from Man's Search for Meaning.
All right.
Squirrel-level-three. Oh my God.
All right.
Okay, so he writes,
Yes.
don't aim at success. Don't aim.
Maybe I didn't give you the full nugget. Mara.
Oh, okay.
Okay, send the full nugget, sir.
Okay, let me send you the full nugget right now. I'll give it to you on our
Secret.
easily named. I'll just put it up on the chat.
As you like.
Okay.
Oh, you know what's interesting?
What?
Maybe we should tell the public what our
No, don't
secret
go
chat
there.
board or
Don't
secret
go
chat
there
board
because it doesn't make any sense and it's confusing.
Okay. We have a secret chat board.
We have a secret WhatsApp thread that has an unusual
It's just me, Mara, and Kaustubha. No one else allowed on. And it's got a very interesting title and how it got that way. Half nuggeting. No half nuggeting. That's our
hold it.
takeaway today.
I think I gave you the. Oh, you probably did have the right nugget, and I just gave you the wrong thing. Forget. Can I take this down?
All right, you are no longer nugget now.
Can I take this down? Anyway,
We're good. We're good.
So I'll start at don't aim at success.
I think probably yes.
Okay. He writes, don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and make it a target, the more you are going to miss it. For success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue. And it always does so as the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself.
Mm-hmm.
Or as a byproduct of one's surrender to a person other than oneself. Happiness must happen, and the same holds for success. If you have to let it happen by not caring about it. You have to let it happen by not caring about it. I want you to listen to what your conscience commands you to do and go on to carry it out to the best of your knowledge. Then you will live to see that in the long run, I say, success will follow you precisely because you had forgotten to think about it.
In the long run, I say.
I do say.
I do say.
I do declare.
You know,
Raghunath,
may I?
Yeah,
May I?
please. What do you think about this?
I love Victor Frankl. I love this idea that success and happiness aren't just things you can chase down.
Right.
Also, people have often sometimes perverse or warped, funhouse mirror of ideas of what success is. Picture themselves like Uncle McScrooge, Scrooge McDuck. What's his name? like a duck in a bathtub of gold coins. Was that Scrooge McDuck or Daffy Duck? The success, right? Success and happiness aren't things you can't just chase down. They come as a result of living for something higher than us, right? Something beyond ourselves. And it reminds me of how, I don't want to say Indian culture, because Indian culture can be mixed up with a lot of what's going on in India today. But the real origins of Indian culture.
It's still there in Indian culture.
It's there.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not always like right in your face, right?
Yeah, right.
It comes as a result of they don't start with the strategies of how to get ahead in life, right? Or to make sure you're comfortable or wealthy. It starts by maybe the grandfathers of Indian culture, the great grandfathers of Indian culture. They start by instilling values. the values, right?
Yeah.
The values is what's hanging from the stick on a string, you know, and
carrot?
leading us forward. The carrot on a stick, right? They start by and it takes faith that type of direction will lead us to something happy. It doesn't seem like it will, and this has a lot to do with media, has a lot to do with the things we put out there and what we're selling, what success is, right? But it's a different mindset. The sages and sadhus have. What we have today is a different mindset of what the sages and sadhus really taught. In America, we tend to focus more on this external success, right? The clothes we wear, the cars we drive, the cell phones that we have, the girls, you know, or the glamour that comes with it, a red carpet, right? What is that success, right? But in this tradition, from the time you're a child, they're teaching you values. Right. They're teaching you archetypes from like this particular sage level. You have like Mahabharat sages, you know, you have the Mahajans, these great personalities, this grandfather Bhishma, right? Lord Ram, Hanumanji, Sita Devi, Draupadi, Gandhari, about, you know, it comes to truthfulness, strength, chastity, tolerance, compassion, self-control, being graceful, being kind, right? So wise people, wherever they're from or wherever they live, this is the kind of faith they have. If I was to live a life of good values, everything follows that. You don't have to grasp for happiness or grasp for success or...
Just ran out of steam?
No, I didn't run out of steam. I'm just thinking, man, did I do this right?
Have I done this?
Part of me wants a fatherhood do-over. I don't know.
Oh, as a father.
As a father, you know, part of me just...
You would like to instill values more?
Well, maybe. I thought I did, but I think maybe I missed one. Anyway, this is making me more reflective. You know, you just have to stand up for the right you have to stand for the right foundation, and everything else becomes very auspicious from there. That's what we got to do.
Right.
And you see this a lot. You see this a lot. You see people who live a life, not necessarily devotees of Lord Krishna, but people who live a life of integrity, and that disseminates to their children almost without words. Almost without words.
Thank you, Raghunath.
You're welcome, Kaustubha ji. What do you think?
I am, you know, it's making me reflective. Like, it's interesting. Like, I feel like saying right now, like, why didn't anyone tell me this when I was growing up? Now, if we were to go back and see my life, and if we could have, you know, a search mode kind of thing on and say, well, did someone share this idea with me in my youth? Maybe, but I don't remember it, right? I don't remember anyone saying it. And if you go and you pick up a self-help book or like How to Be Successful book, they're not going to tell you this kind of stuff.
Well, I know some self-help books do.
Well, obviously, Man's Search for Meaning does, but
Man's Search for Meaning, you know, seven Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah, you know, okay, there are, yes, that's, you're right, like Seven
Not
Habits.
the ones we're talking about, you know, increase your charisma or
increase your wealth or whatever.
Increase your wealth.
But this idea, put strong values first and let success and happiness follow. You know, there's a trend right now, and it's almost sickening. You know, it's almost sickening.
I want to hear this. Tell me.
Well, it's just this idea that you owe it to yourself to be happy. Now, make the world revolve around you. Stop apologizing, and, you know, go out there and, you know, like it's this kind of like hedonism put like in the dress of like liberating
self-care, self-love,
and some kind of liberating philosophy or something like that. No. What you're presenting there is just the old crap that gets us nowhere.
It's old school hedonism. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's old school hedonism.
It's me first and the gimmies.
Right. And so this idea, I love the way that he phrases this, that success and happiness, they're the unintended side effects of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself. Oh, no, there is nothing greater than me. You are the center of the universe. Your happiness is the most important thing. No, it's not. My happiness will come as a side effect of myself dedicating myself to what's greater than me, right? That to me is wisdom. To me, this is a way to live life. You know, you were speaking about like India and like how these kind of values were infused in the upbringing. And I accept, as you say, that they're not. It's getting more covered in India, but it is still there. But you know, let's look at like what are the American values, right? I would say it's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Happiness,
right? You look at that. We hear that as kids. That's what we were taught. And oh, what a noble, you know, idea. It was kind of, but when I look at it now,
it was pitched to us.
it was life. Well, okay, obviously we need to be able to live. Liberty. I want to be free to do whatever I want. I don't want to have to conform to some idea that's higher than myself, you know, and the pursuit of happiness. Yeah. What else is there? I'm not saying that these are bad things, but I'm saying it's not infused with wisdom, with a deeper wisdom, like I'm hearing here in Victor Frankl's words. That you embrace good values and you dedicate yourself to something higher than yourself, and you'll be surprised that actually you'll get true happiness and true success, right? That they should follow in the wake of your dedication to that higher cause. To me, this is a really interesting idea. And imagine a society where if the entire society was thinking like this, imagine the harmony. But because we don't, imagine the polarity, imagine the conflict. And that's the world we're living in right now, a world of just like constant, steady conflict and animosity and, you know, envy.
And you know what? Envy.
Yeah.
Envy. Because from that overly, it's like an over type of, drunken on self-care.
Yeah.
It's not even self-care anymore. It's just like self-centeredness. Then you become envious of other people. And envy burns people at the heart.
Yeah.
You know, you can't become happy for other people's good fortune because you're like, oh, it should have been me. Should have been me. Well spoken, my dear friend Kaustubha.
And Victor Frankl.
Okay,
now we need to move on, Raghunath, because we had a big squirrel.
You really took a long time with that.
Okay. All right, you ready?
I feel like catching up with you. I feel like hanging out.
Yeah, I'm down, but
You do. Why
don't we just that would to be free to squirrel without any boundaries.
Yeah. It's like a squirrel sanctuary where squirrels just run free without any fences. Squirrels without fences. Squirrels without borders.
That's
my new foundation
show. Squirrels without borders. Okay.
All right. Text 42. Narayanam namaskrityanam chaivan ratamam devim saraswatim vyasam tatojayam madirayat. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesha vadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhakti bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Agyanat Timurandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Madatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 4, Text 42.
Okay, who's speaking?
Yeah, Text 42.
I'll tell you who's speaking.
You tell me. I'll tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
I can't.
Okay.
It's been a week.
Then you won't.
I'm lost.
Okay. So, Kamsa, the horrible demon, he had a little epiphany where he realized, hey, I'm not this body and I got to be kinder and so on. And then he went home feeling kind of with his tail between his legs after trying to kill a baby of his, essentially his niece.
And he apologized. Imagine doing that. Like, I was going to kill a baby. It turned out to be a goddess. She threatened. She laid down some heavy truths. I feel bad about it now.
I feel really bad.
Please forgive me.
Well, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, it's like It's like a psychopath.
Yes, because it didn't take long before he swang back.
Yeah.
You know why? Bad association.
Yeah, that's where we were at. The association of his ministers were like, okay, you missed that one. You didn't kill that baby. I get it. I get it. She was a
Let's
goddess.
kill more babies.
But the only way out of this is to kill every baby that's been born.
Right.
Like that's the way you're going to, right? You've made a mess.
Yeah.
Now let's make that mess bigger.
When I grew up, our local church, our local Catholic church, was called Holy Innocents.
Oh, that's nice.
Do you know who the Holy Innocents were?
Oh no, I don't.
They were the children that when Jesus was born, they did the same thing. They tried to kill all the children in the area.
No.
Yes. Yes, Raghunath.
Why?
Because they knew this Messiah
he didn't do any miracles.
No, they knew that he was born. So, Mara, could you look up
Who
Holy
knew
Innocents,
this?
please?
No one knew. Only the
people that read the Bible.
Three wise men
that
knew
encompasses
that.
a large portion of people.
No, I'm saying they did. Anyway, I'm not going to get.
Oh,
into
what?
it.
Who knew who he was going to be?
They just killed a bunch of babies because there was a rumor that a Messiah was to be born.
Mara will get to the bottom of this.
In the Bible, the holy innocents are the infant boys who were killed by King Herod the Great in Bethlehem. Herod ordered this massacre in an attempt to kill the baby Jesus, whom he saw as a threat to his throne.
How did he know about baby Jesus? That's what I want to know.
Good question. ChatGPT. He knew
Right.
of it.
I think it was
because
related to a
Bram,
wasn't
who used
a
to play in
miracle.
Four Walls Falling, told him.
Yeah. He wasn't a miracle maker until he was 13, until he went to India. So
No, but
say.
they knew there was maybe he heard a voice from the sky.
Well, the three kings of Orient are
wise men came. They knew about it.
the three wise.
Okay, so in any case, it was. I figured you would have known that because you would have tied the parallel between the Vedic teachings and what comes out in the Bible.
Well,
So when Jesus, just like when Krishna was born,
right.
same thing happened when Jesus was born. Let's kill all the babies.
All right. Which furthers my point that the whole biblical story was
point.
mirrored
Exactly.
after Krishna's, and they tried to do that. The Christian ministers
They tried to flip it.
They tried to flip it like, oh, it all came from Jesus. The whole birth of Krishna came from. No. You got to understand. We predate you.
Okay.
I like what you're doing. The songs are good. The church, the Christmas tree, it's all good. But ours came first.
But we predate you. Okay. So he's been told by his ministers, let's kill all those babies so that whoever's destined to kill you will be killed before they get the chance. And let's take this opportunity to, come on, what do you call it? Like get your mettle up again, right? Like kind of like get back into your
gander.
Get back into your demon mode. And let's get into wiping out the followers of Lord Vishnu. Let's weaken Lord Vishnu's position. Let's wipe out his followers. And they have a very specific plan about exactly how they're going to go right after what the Vaishnavas, what the devotees of Krishna, what they value. Yeah, what they value.
The cows, the Brahmins,
all those kind of things.
You know, the rituals, the sacrifices. You just
so
need a little demon pep talk. That's what it was.
Through the mouths of the demons, we can recognize what's actually where a society should place its values. They're like, let's eat away, let's erode the very foundation of this community. But they kind of spell it all out for us. What are the pillars of a good, healthy, deeply spiritual community or society?
Yeah, Kamsa was off his game, and he went to like the Tony Robbins of demons. Like, you can do this. You got to get back on the horse.
Let's
move straight ahead. You're lacking confidence. You got to kill all the children in the community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, so we'll hear about those values now.
Lord Vishnu, the super soul from the core of everyone's heart, is the ultimate enemy of the Asuras and is therefore known as Asuradvit.
He's actually the friend of every living entity, but they just see it wrong.
Right. He is the leader of all the demigods because all the demigods, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, exist under his protection. The great saintly persons, sages, and Vaishnavas also depend on him. To persecute the Vaishnavas, therefore, is the only way to kill Vishnu.
Okay. Hey, did we read? Why don't you go ahead and read 41 though too? Because that's kind of I thought what we were going to.
Okay. The Brahmins, the cows, the Vedic knowledge, austerity, truthfulness, control of the mind and senses, faith, mercy, tolerance, and sacrifice are the different parts of the body of Lord Vishnu, and they are the paraphernalia for a godly civilization.
Okay, that's some interesting stuff.
That's the stuff we value, and that's the stuff that sort of changes the course, changes the direction of the ship.
Right. That's right. So they're all very interesting. I think they might not exactly be intuitive to the Western mind, right?
Well,
I mean, things like
don't
we don't even go for
poo-poo on the
truthfulness,
Western mind.
maybe.
We care.
You know, like, huh?
Don't poo-poo on the Western mind. We have great thinkers, great spiritualists.
Yeah, but how many of them are identifying like cows?
Okay, we don't get that.
Okay,
We don't get that. Well, yes.
Even austerity is like, yes, but no, not as clearly defined as in.
No, of course not. That's why we're Hare Krishnas. We get it. We've opted in.
Okay, so I'm gaining ground back here. Okay, maybe I should poo-poo a little bit on it. All right. So control of the mind. I mean, were we ever taught that? Like they teach it in the East, how essential it is, So, I think these are a bit unique, for us. What is a Brahmana? Have we even identified what a Brahmana is?
You know what? No, the Vedic paradigm definitely systematizes all these things to go up higher. Whereas in the West, you sort of got to dig around, and we do. We take nuggets from here and there, and this guy was sort of into Easty Westy stuff, and this guy was a Christian monk, and this guy was just a philosopher, and we try to piece it together.
Yeah.
But they had a systemized way of elevating the consciousness.
Right.
Yes.
And so they saw the Brahmanas, that within society there are these peaceful, kind, very learned, and very simple living speakers of the truth, that we need that in society. We need to protect that. The cows, the cow and the bull, look, we don't need to go crazy, creating all kind of crazy inventions and petroleum fuel and all these things. This cow provides everything that we need in terms of the milk and the butter and the yogurt and the ghee. And all this stuff is incredibly good for health if it's done right.
Yeah.
And then they also plow the fields, that provide the food that we eat, the grains that we eat, the fruit that we eat, also the pesticide, also the clothes that we wear, by growing cotton, the lighting our houses with, castor oil and so on. If you protect that, if you actually don't just look at it like, how can I exploit it? Like now, if you love it, if you feel gratitude towards the cow, if you protect it, it will provide so much for you. Your society can be based, now your society can live in a non-violent, prosperous way.
Okay.
If you recognize what it is, right?
I mean, okay, we get it. Yeah,
Okay.
Yes, you're right.
And then Vedic knowledge. Oh, there's a manual to the whole thing.
There's a manual.
That's going to help. So it was never so clearly laid out as it is laid out here. And what the demons are saying is, let's tear down their society by going right after these. Now, Prabhupada, he gives this commentary here, Raghunath, where he's saying, essentially what he does is he's saying, I brought this knowledge to the West. And rather than everyone being like, I'm so glad that you're sharing these values with my children, right? Like, I sent my kid off to college to learn how to be a success, right? Like how to make a lot of money and, have a healthy marriage and sexual life and reproduce and live in material prosperity. I had a whole plan where I was gearing my child to find that kind of success. And then this Indian holy man comes along and starts teaching about this whole other set of values. And now my child has dropped out of college, has decided that they want to dedicate their life to serving God and others, is waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning, going into deep meditation, is living a life of simplicity and just trying to live with kindness and so on. They've totally lost the plot.
Sounds like a cult to me.
And then they would say they're being brainwashed. No. He showed them higher values. So why don't you go ahead and read from the commentary? Let's see what Prabhupada says.
Of 41.
Yeah.
Excuse me. When we offer our obeisances to the personality of Godhead, we say, this is a famous prayer, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hataya Cha. When Krishna comes to establish real perfection in the social order, he personally gives protection to the cows and the brahmanas.
Okay, values.
Go Brahmana Hataya Cha. This is the first interest because without the protection of the brahmanas and the cows, there can be no human civilization and no question of happy, peaceful life.
No one taught us this.
The Asuras, therefore, are always interested in killing the Brahmins and the cows. Woo.
Now he comes to America. He sees.
Yep, that's what they're doing.
Look what's going on.
Especially in this age, Kali Yuga, cows are being killed all over the world. And as soon as there is a movement to establish Brahminical civilization, people in general rebel.
Now we should understand that the context in which Srila Prabhupada is sharing this is he had just come out of a court case, right?
Oh, all right. I didn't know.
Right? Yeah, because this is 10th canto, so this is 77. This is being written. Maybe
This is the end of
76.
his life on the planet.
Yeah, and so
And the movement is very big at this time. It's like spreading like crazy in Europe and America.
And in America, you have people that are these so-called deprogrammers who are kidnapping devotees and trying to directly engage them in sinful life, right? Directly, they bring you in and they try to get you high on drugs. They try to engage you in
have a burger. Sex. I know you love burgers. Let's have a barbecue.
Yeah, they would actually kidnap you and try to get you to start doing these things.
And they feel like then you would be, what do they call it? They call it snapped or something like
Snapping. One of the most important books on the subject matter.
Yeah, snapping. It's just like they snap you. You could snap out of it. That was the idea. They've been brainwashed and you just need to snap out of it. Like, don't you see? This is your brother. This is your sister. This is your family. We love you. Who are these people? And you love fried chicken. I brought you a whole bucket of KFC. I know this is your favorite. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, what was I doing?
So it generally didn't work with Krishna devotees. It very rarely would they.
Well, I'm sure it could work if you didn't have a deep understanding of the philosophy. And back then, I would say it was sort of culty. The Hare Krishna movement was sort of culty. You were either in the gang or you weren't. And unless you had deep realization or deep faith in Guru, you could have snapped. Maybe like, what the hell am I doing? I miss Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen people snap and go right back to old habits as if they were never Hare Krishnas.
I'm not saying that didn't happen. What I'm saying was their percentages were very low with Prabhupada's followers.
It depends, truthfully, what cult they were in. I mean, some people thinks like various types of Christianity are cults too. I think if they
Raghunath, what you just said had no relation to what I said. What I said was that their percentage with Srila Prabhupada's followers was very low.
Do you have those stats?
I've heard those stats.
You've heard it?
Yes.
Hearsay, or do you know?
No, I heard it from them themselves.
Oh,
from
really?
the deprogrammers themselves. These guys are really hard to snap. Like.
I wonder if I would have snapped. Like, yeah, you're right. Stayed in the band. Okay. You got a good point there.
So let me just read.
Okay, go.
Because we're running out of time. So Prabhupada writes. He says, especially in this age of Kali, cows are being killed all over the world. When he saw that, he said, this is the demoniac influence, right? And as soon as there is a movement to establish Brahminical civilization, people in general rebel. Thus, they regard the Krishna consciousness movement as a form of quote-unquote brainwashing. But he ends this by saying, the Krishna consciousness movement has started a Brahminical civilization, a truth-speaking, simple living, higher thinking civilization. But especially when it is introduced in the Western countries, the Asuras try to impede it in many ways. Nonetheless, we must push forward this movement tolerantly for the benefit of human society. Boom. Right? Can't tolerate it. Keep moving forward.
Oh, man. It's 7:59, Special K.
Yeah.
Kaustubha.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You know what? I wore to bed last night. Someone sent me a shirt that says, what do you think of that, Kaustubha? Someone sent me a shirt that says that.
No kidding.
What do you think of that, Kaustubha?
Might be the first time in Bhagavatam class that somebody said, do you know what I wore to bed last night?
You know what I wore to bed?
The first time in the history of the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah. All right. You ready for
I'm picturing you in like pajamas and then one of those night things that like, like one of those like long.
Yeah, and over my pajamas, a T-shirt with my sleeves of the pajamas coming out of the T-shirt saying, what do you think of that, Kaustubha?
Okay.
People send me the craziest stuff. I still have a mug that says, I'd rather be reading Vedic literature.
Oh, I like that. I think it was from Sita Sundar.
That was from Sita Sundar.
I have that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way all matching ones. All right. You ready for some takeaways?
Yeah. I'm going to do last last moment promotion for this book. Children
Of the corn.
Of a harsh bliss.
Of the harsh.
Children of the Harsh Bliss
Children of the harsh.
by Rishi, by Garga Rishi. I can't remember his last name. Rishi. Anyway, you got the book right
Oh,
there.
you can put it up. Oh, yeah.
Waterman.
We should,
What-
yeah.
Put it on the
Waterman.
board, fill 'em up with Bhakti. It's an interesting book on, very interesting book on, you hear a lot of stories.
If you
about-
wanted to think of that we were in a cult, this is a great book.
Well, yeah, because back then it was cult time, but
Yeah.
he was this guy Rishi, it was very impressive of these people who just surrendered they fell in love with their guru and they surrendered to their guru and they went through a bunch of craziness.
Is this
But-
him on the cover?
I don't know. It doesn't say, and there's not that many photos. But it's just such a great, easy read about these early devotees of Prabhupada who just surrendered to Prabhupada's will.
Yeah.
And it's sort of quite impressive. And I know they went through a lot of crazy as well, but
Raghunath Swami looked at it, at the cover, and he's like, "Oh, I know that cow, and I know that cow."
I know.
He started
knows
telling
the
us their
author very
names
well,
and
too.
histories. Yeah.
Children of a Harsh Bliss. Okay.
All right. The rip current of bhakti takes you to the ocean of devotion.
The Rip Current of
You
I
like
like that one. I came up with it. Sometimes I come up. I'm just saying. Sometimes I come up with stuff I don't like. I
Do you?
like that one. Yes, I do.
that? You can't chase down happiness and success.
Victor Frankl.
Put strong values first, and happiness and success will follow.
Okay.
Is there a peacock in the house?
No, I think it's outside. Good values are the foundation of a happy life.
Okay.
All right.
Live a life of integrity, and all becomes auspicious.
You better have that Tony Robbins one in there somewhere.
Tony Robbins.
The demons.
Demon pep talk. Even the
Walk on the
demons need a
fire.
pep. Even the demons need a pep talk. Even the
pretty-
demons got to get back on track.
Even the demons need a pep talk.
Even the demons.
Did you
need
ever
pep-
do that co-walking? You talked about that before, right?
Oh yeah. You know who does that? Mukunda Kishore. He's
I bet
Tony
you. I bet you wanted to do it. when
You know what?
saw-
For some reason I couldn't do it that day, but I did go to Tony Robbins.
For some reason, I couldn't
couldn't
do it
co-walk?
that day.
No,
When you finally got in front of the thing, for some reason.
for some reason I'm not going to do this today. Could have been my tender feet.
I had a little boil that day, a little thorn or corn.
For some reason I was busy that morning.
Okay.
Good values are the foundation of a happy life.
But you brought your mother to
I brought my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you
You
what
into
happened.
Tony Robbins? Were you like, this guy's really onto something? Or what was that
No,
all
I
about?
I had an extra ticket.
How'd you get the
and-
ticket?
I got the ticket from Mukunda Kishore.
Okay. He was like saying, this guy's, you can learn something from
Well,
this
no,
guy?
I knew I was into Tony Robbins since I was 19.
Really?
Yeah. And anyway, we went there, and then when we got there, I realized, man, my mom's ticket is way up in the balcony in the bleachers, and we were already locked into our seats. So she's like, no problem. She wasn't that old then. It was probably 20 years ago. And so she's like, no problem. I'll just go by myself, and I'll meet you during the intermission. So she goes up there. We run up to find her and see if she's okay. She's got a gang of people and during intermission asking her thousands of questions because at this time she's probably 80, and they're asking her all these questions. And I was like, my mom. I was like, and I break in. I was like, Mom, you're like a celebrity here. What's going on? She's like, oh, these people got a bunch of questions. I'm giving them some advice. I was like, you're giving
Maybe
all
it
these
means that his followers are just very prone to anything.
No, they want to look towards an elder who's also
Okay,
interested in stuff like
okay.
this. So I said, Mom, what do you think of this place? She goes, oh, the people are really nice. I said, no, well, what do you think of Tony Robbins? And she goes,
Who?
know all this stuff.
I know all this stuff. That's great. I know all this stuff.
Okay.
All right. Prabhupada's devotees are really hard to snap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Values change the direction of the ship.
They do.
Tolerate and move forward.
There you go.
And
It.
squirrels without borders.
Squirrels without borders.
Squirrel-level-three. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. It's good to be back. We got a show tomorrow?
Yep, 7 a.m.
7 a.m., peeps. We're going to get more into this King Kamsa stuff. Less squirrels, more Bhagavatam.